Hello and welcome to this video where I'll be sharing a walk I did around Crookdale in the Lake District. Crookdale lies in the far eastern fells, or the eastern edge of the Outlying Fells, depending on where you draw the boundaries. It's much less visited than the more well-known central areas of the Lake District, but as I find out today, it has its own slightly desolate charm and beauty and offers a rewarding walk. There are various spots I've seen other people start a walk around Crookdale from, but I chose to start from the Shap bothy layby on the A6 because it worked well for my route. It's an easy spot to get to, and there's actually quite a lot of room to park. So from the layby, I headed down to Crookdale Bridge and then up to High House Bank, the first top of the day. From here, it was along the ridge to Robin Hood, Lord's Seat, and then Grey Crag. I then did a short dogleg out to Tarn Crag, then back to Harrop Pike. I came back along the north side of the valley via Great Yarlside, Little Yarlside, and finally Whatshaw Common. So, time to get going. Okay, I've just arrived at my parking spot and today I'll be walking around Crookdale. It could be a slightly shorter walk or a slightly longer walk depending on how I'm feeling, because I have had a little bit of a cold in the past few days, so I may fancy just cutting it a bit short, but we'll see. The weather is lovely. It's a little bit colder than it has been, so I'm actually wearing trousers, but yeah, it's looking like a lovely day. So I've just left the road behind me and I'm now heading under these two sets of pylons up here towards the bridleway. Oh, I think this must be the bridleway due to the gate. So this is Crookdale ahead of us, and I'm just heading down this bridleway down there towards that farmhouse and then past it. And I'm just taking a moment to look up the hill there, because I know the route I want to take goes across this field and then up towards the top of the hill, and apparently there's a gate or something up there. I was wondering if I'd be able to see it, so I'm just trying to spy it out from here so I know where I'm headed. Okay, well the guide said to turn right shortly before the pylons. I think we're shortly before the pylons now, so I'm going to head up there. Can't really see a path, I'll just make my own way. So I said there was no path just now, but I have found a sort of vague outline of something, which may at one point have been a little track or something. So I might just follow this for now, although I will have to go up there at some point. So that little track wasn't going far enough uphill, so I decided to cut up once it had gone through the first broken down old wall. So I've come up just from that road down there, which apparently before the new A6, which is there, was built, this little road in the valley was apparently the main road going through these parts, and I presume it went up the bridleway where I came down, which is funny to imagine. Anyway, there's now the very nicely graded A6, and then head a little bit further in that direction is the M6, which probably would have seemed very odd to the people that lived here 100 years ago.
So I've walked along a bit looking for this awkward stile. I'm not sure, but I think this is the best spot I can find where I'll be able to get over without damaging the wall, because we've got some through stones and a fence post as described. So I'm across the wall now, and I'm now heading up towards this hill here. But I just thought I'd come slightly this way, because you get a lovely view across the valley from here. So this is Crookdale, and I'll be going all the way around the edge, and then back there. But yeah, fantastic view. So I'm just on the other side now, looking south, which is also a really nice view. And just down there you can see into the other Borrowdale and Ashstead's Fell. And I've done another walk around there, which was lovely. Okay, this is the first stop of the day, High House Bank, and what I think is the smallest cairn I've ever seen. Yeah, lovely views. So at some point a path has come up, I think from down in Borrowdale, which I'll just follow for this very last bit. I don't exactly know where it goes because it's not on any of the maps, but anyway. Onwards. So I'm just heading down this grassy ridge line now in that direction. So I'm just carrying on down this grassy ridge line towards the gate in the fence that you might just be about to be able to see. And then we're going up the next hill on the ridge, which is apparently called Robin Hood. And then after that we'll be working away just to the left a little bit, and I think that is Sleddale Fell, which is where we're going after that. The other Borrowdale down to the left, and Crookdale on the right. And yeah, the scenery is lovely. I've not seen another walk yet. It might partly be because I started a little bit late, so everyone else is probably ahead of me. But I don't think this place gets many walkers. Right, last steep little pull up to the top of Robin Hood. A slightly bigger cairn this time. So that's where I've come from. And that's where I'm going. Okay. So I'm still heading down the ridgeline, but just to stop and have a look at where I'm going. This next little rise is called Lord's Seat, probably along with about 100 other places in the Lake District. And then after that we're going to Sleddale Fell there. Okay, this little hill is Lord's Seat, and again we get a lovely view from up here. fantastic. So over in that direction is Sleddale Fell, which is where I'll be going next. I need to look at what those mountains in the distance are. And yeah, back down there. Back down to the other Borrowdale and the way I came up. And the way I'll be coming down. Yeah, fantastic. Off we go. So I just stopped to look behind me briefly, and there's a brilliant view down Borrowdale from this little point. See right away there. So another view that's opened up is down into Bannisdale. Now I've got a walk planned there for another day, so that'll be nice. Looks similar terrain to what I'm doing today. So anyway, onwards and upwards. We've got a slightly boggy bit to cross. It's not too bad. I think a lot of this terrain that I've been walking across would be quite a lot more boggy if it had rained recently. So it's lucky that it's been reasonably dry in the past couple of weeks. I think once I get past this outcrop, I'm just going to sort of turn left and head up towards Sleddale Fell. Now this was well camouflaged, but what a gorgeous little caterpillar. Right, nearly at the top of Sleddale Fell. Nice view. So time's got on a bit and I'm getting hungry now, so I'm going to have lunch fairly soon, but I've decided that I may get an even better view if I go up to Tarn Crag over there, which is only about, I don't know, a kilometre away maybe. Ooh, I can see two people walking. First two walkers I've seen all day. So I think if I'd just done the Crookdale round and gone back now, I probably wouldn't have bumped into anyone, which is rather fantastic in the Lake District on a Sunday. So there's a fairly impressive stone structure over there. I'm not sure what it was, maybe it looks like it used to have a flagpole or something on it. But anyway, the actual top of Tarn Crag is this cairn, I think. So there's Sleddale Pike where we came up from. Yeah. It's very nice up here. Alright, I think this is a suitably nice position to have a lunch. So yeah, I'm starving, so time to get food out. So I've had my lunch and I'm all refueled, and I've been thinking about where to go next. So I had been wondering about going over to Brandstree and Sellside, which is over the other side of that mound. But I think I've decided against that because it'd be a dog leg out and back with I think at least 5k on the distance and a few hundred metres of ascent. So it would add a bit of time and it would be a bit more effort. And I don't want to push it too much today because I do have a little bit of a cold. So I think I'll turn around here and go back down on the north side of Crookdale because it's been a really nice day. Don't want to spoil it by getting overtired or getting home really late. So yeah, that's where I'm going. Back along the north edge of Crookdale. So before I head back to Sleddale Fell and then Harrop Pike on the way back, I thought I'd just skirt around Tarn Crag a little bit to see if I can get a better view into Long Sleddale from the edge of the cliff over here. I'll have to look up and see if I can recognise that bird, but it looks like some kind of bird of prey. Maybe it is something interesting and not just a crow or something, but I think it is a sort of light browny colour maybe. So I'm skating back around Tarn Crags now, heading back to Sleddale Fell, and after that Harrop Pike. So I'm nearly back up towards Sleddale Fell now, but because we've already been up there, I'm turning off left past this corner of the fence towards Harrop Pike, which we can now see over there. And we're back in contact with the view that we had before. You can see the Howgills over there, and you can just about see Borrowdale. So here we are coming up to the top of Harrop Pike. What an impressive cairn. wonder who built that, but whoever did it, good job. Yeah, lovely views from here. Yeah, and can see all the way where we came up, and we then went round to there and along to Tarn Crag there, where I had lunch, and now I've come back along this fence line and here. Now, I don't think you could see it from the top of Harrop Pike, but over there are some quarries, and I think just below the quarries is where Mosedale Cottage is, which is a very remote bothy, which I've never been to, and of course it's closed at the moment, but would be nice to go and see it one day. Yeah, just a nice view over some more of the Shap Fells. Right, so onwards to Lawyer's Brow. That's interesting. It's not often you actually see bits of fence like that still standing with wires in them. What an interesting sort of foundation arrangement it's got. Right. Now I wonder if that's 3 generations of fence post next to each other. And look at this, another interesting fence post. I think this is probably the same design as the one from earlier, but in better condition. Well, I've never seen a fence post like that before. So it's kind of, so it's on the fence post. The fence post sits in this, or it's welded on this bit of angle iron, which is secured into the ground with these metal pegs, I think. So that's keeping it in the same place, and the 2 A-frames on each side are keeping it upright, I believe. Anyway, really interesting piece of design. Obviously hasn't caught on though, because I've not seen it anywhere else. No, they've got yeah. Now, this bit of fence, we've got these metal stretcher bars, and it must be about 10 metres between some of the actual fence posts there, which actually go into the ground. Is the fence that just keeps on giving, because look at this, it's got a chain pulling it down to the ground, and that is under tension, and it's anchored down here into yeah, there's a lump of concrete there that it's anchored into. Now I think this must be because those wires are under a lot of tension, and this is a bit of a dip. If that chain wasn't here, then the wires would probably be sitting a couple of metres up in the air, going straight from one side of the dip to the other. So yeah. So how interesting is that anyway? There's a couple more examples of chains up here. So this is quite a long sort of concave bit. As you can see again, got one chain and another chain, double whammy. Anyway, nearly at Lawyer's Brow now, where I think I'll stop for a drink. Up on Lawyer's Brow now. I'm back in sight of the How Gills, and I think possibly the Dales further over there as well. But anyway, as if that view wasn't good enough, we have got a further variation on the fence design. So because this one's on a little bit of a corner, it will be getting dragged this way more. So presumably these two A-frames are not enough to secure it, and it's got this beefy support there as well. Cool. So I've just realised now I've stopped how amazingly silent it is here. You can really hear so little apart from just a touch of wind. But I'm even a little bit sheltered from that in this slight hollow here. So I'm now coming up to Great Yarlside, and I've realised I need to be on the other side of the wall, I think, which would be hard to get over. So luckily someone's left some stones piled up here, presumably to help people get across without damaging the fence, which is always nice. And then we're going to go through that rather lovely old gate. So I'm coming down off Great Yarlside now, which is just a little hill really, and the little ATV track goes off down to the left. Now I'm going to stick close to the wall, and you can now see the A6 again. It's just over there. It may not be that clear on the video, but anyway. Oh, it's a nice view down into Crookdale. We can see where I'm going now. So this little hill in front of us is Little Yarlside, and then there's a drop behind that, and then the next bit of ground is Whatshaw Common, I believe, and then just beyond that is the road and the car, I think. Also looking on the map, the not content to have the other Borrowdale over in that direction, in this direction we've got Wasdale. It's a bit smaller. It's a bit smaller than the famous one, but I'm sure it deserves its name no less. So just heading up onto Whatshaw Common now, which is, I think, the last little pull-up of the day. So it's about 5 o'clock now, and I think it is the hottest it's been all day. You'd expect it might be starting to cool down a little bit now because the sun's getting lower in the sky, but no. So I've had to take my jacket off, and this is maybe for one time today where I wish I'd worn shorts. Most of the day has been quite chilly, especially in the wind, but just at the moment it's got really still and it's really warm. I'm walking over Whatshaw Common at the moment, and there's just over a kilometre to the car, and you can now clearly see the same view that we had this morning of the road making its way up the side of a hill there. And over there is a big quarry. Yeah. And over there is High House Bank, which is where I went up in the morning. Yeah, so just come over the brow of the hill and we can see the road now. and those pylons we walked under this morning. So basically back now. Oh, and just over there you can see the little bothy. So I'm just passing the start of the bridleway here, and I didn't actually notice on the way up, but you can see it really quite clearly how there's the remains of an old road there, just from the width of it and how flat the surface is. So I'll have to look up when this was no longer a road. So back in the car again after a really good day. The weather was brilliant, nice views, and it was a really quiet area. I didn't bump into anyone until I was up on Sleddale Fell and then Tarn Crags. So it's lovely to have that peace and quiet, and a bit of solitude. So yeah, it is a really quiet corner of the Lake District, which is kind of why I came here. So anyway, I'm just going to have a little snack now, have a drink, get my boots off, and then I'll be off down the road. So yeah, bye.
So, I thought that was a really interesting walk, and one I'd definitely do again in the future. I imagine it could be quite boggy in places after rain, so it's worth waiting for a spell of dry weather or frozen ground. There are probably only two changes I'd consider. Firstly, I'd have a look at an alternative route up to High House Bank. There's nothing on the map, and I couldn't see an obvious route in person, but I've seen other people's accounts of going along the beck a short distance before turning south to go up the hill, so that might be worth investigating to see if it's a better route up or not. Secondly, I would consider going out to Great and Little Saddle Crags and Whatshaw Pike before Great Yarlside, just to tick them off and maybe get a bit more of a view down into Wet Sleddale. So, finally, I'll leave you with some clips of the puppy that I came home to that evening. Thanks for watching. See you next time.